Toby.
Way to go. Let's see, like, I think this is a Google Hangout. I don't think it's not like, I guess the intention is that it should be live like on YouTube, and it's actually recording and broadcasting this live. And I don't know if that's happening or not.
Like the solution. The last slide, the solution.
No, that was Mr. Baldwin because I invited him, so I know that that's him. But I don't know if it's a Hangout or if it's on. See, like, this doesn't, I mean, I think something's wrong here. Close this. But I mean, is this going to YouTube though? Like, that's what I want to know if it is or not.
It wouldn't go to YouTube. YouTube has its own place, has its own broadcast.
Yeah.
Google Plus has its own. YouTube has its own. Twitch has its own.
All right. Well, I guess let's go from here. All right. Go ahead.
Can you see it? Yeah. Okay, so we did the dam creation, or VR, the dam creation. The claim was adding a dam to a water system causes an increase in sediment settling around the dam. You agree because a dam could put a lot of pressure on a regular water system. Nothing goes through easily, so that could cause an increase in the sediment surrounding the dam. You could just see that the sediment builds up, it lets the water go in some, but then a whole bunch of sediment piles up near over here. Still piling up. So it's starting to clog up on the sides right here, and that's what our claim is, and we agreed to it.
Okay, so some of the keywords we have is a dam. It's a body of water confined by a barrier. And sediments are things such as stone and sand carried into water or by wind. And this relates to the real world because by a dam there's a huge body of water, and that water can cause the sediments to stick around and sink to the bottom. This also relates to China's mega dam because in that area they wanted it to be all clear because the body of water starts rising and they don't want any harm to the people. And that can also cause the sediments to move to the sides.
So our solution for this setting around the water is to like make a dam and like a barrier for the side, so like the sediments will go in, and then like a barrier, like a dam, like with something like controlling, like it blocks like the dam part. So like once you like rise up, the water increase, so like um it could like pushes the sediment through it, like because the water increase. Off. Like as you see here, like once you like pick it up, the water just pushes the sediments through.
Conclusion. You guys got any questions?
So let me see if I can understand this correctly. Your solution is to temporarily open up the dam and let the water through all the sediments and push it by the water.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
That was the next meeting.
Great. Am I signing in? Are you guys ready?
Yeah. Sure.
Oh wow.
Wait, where's what?
Voice letter, I see. Come on now,
Yeah, and alright.
Okay, so he's not ready. Shit, he's still dimming the lights. Camera. Action.
All right, go ahead.
So we did the dam experiment for our project, and our claim was adding a dam to a water system causes an increase in sediment settling around the dam.
Okay, so this was our original dam. So basically, we just have like the white thing or the like lid back there. That's the dam itself. And then we dug out this the river, which is right there. And then we had like a little pool for where the water would go. And those are just some pictures of what our dam looked like from different angles. And then here's a video of our dam. So initially, there's like no sediment at the bottom, so it's at 0 centimeters. And as you can see, the water obviously picks up the sediment on the sides of the river, and it all starts to pool at the bottom. And by the time we were done with running this dam, there was about 1 centimeter of sediment resting at the bottom. And then some of the water like went underneath the dam and like sediment got through. Oh, that's not right.
So the purpose of a dam is to store water or create electricity. And so why it matters is because what rivers do is that it carries sediment from erosion, and so for long periods of time that it'll do that, it'll start depositing the sediment where the dam is located at. So what will happen is that that the increase of sediment will decrease the storage capacity. So our example here is that the 200-foot high Metalligia Dam has been filled with sediment in the span of 30 years. So yeah, so without like proper sediment protection, it'll cause the flooding of a dam.
And like also how it was a problem with our dam, it's also a problem with like the Three Gorges Dam, because they don't have anything to like channelize the water. The sediment's building up at like the base of the dam, and that can cause problems.
Okay, so a solution to this problem could be making like channels so that the river has enough space to like move away from the dam so that there's no sediment buildup. And this is called channelization. And another thing you can do is like put rocks or concrete or metals around the surroundings so that there's no erosion happening and the sediments aren't like eroded away.
So this time when we built our dam, we kept the white lid there, and then we also put the wood there to channelize the water. And then if you can see around here, we put like some rocks so that the sediment was like, it was less likely that it would the water would take it off and like sediment would build up.
And so in this video, the sediments aren't like washing away by the water.
And this time when we measured the buildup of the sediment after we ran our experiment, there was only 0.1 centimeters of sediment, making it clear that what we had done with like channelizing the water had really impacted the amount of sediment that was not built up.
Okay, so the conclusion is basically we can stop or prevent flooding or erosion to happen by making channels or building like rocks or something around it so that the sediments aren't eroded away, and the water will have enough space to like escape under the dam, and the extra water will escape through the channel so there's no flooding.
Any questions? No?
Yes, that's it.
And is there any like a film person here or somebody with video recording more expertise than me? The problem that we have is that it's okay. Like if you notice here on the screen, like even if the slide is like a really deep blue, like their last presentation, it still looks like white to the camera. We can't see the videos. We can't see like pictures or even read any of the text that's on the slides. And I'm just trying to figure out if there's anything that we can do to fix it. Any ideas from anybody? Suggestions?
Maybe we could just, I mean, I'm not exactly trying to fix it, but I guess we could just have the groups explain what's on there so the people who can't see it.
So do you see how it just gets kind of blown out?
Yeah.
Maybe that's better, huh? I still think it's gotta either get moved up or. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that.
Oh wow.
Creepy.
Nice. Yeah, but okay, let's give it a shot.
Let's try it this way. Okay, who's the next group?
Guys.
All right, and let's try to stand like right in front of the camera.
All right. It was okay. So our claim is the Mississippi River will change course to create a new delta without human interventions. Do you guys know what a delta is?
Nope.
It's a landform that forms from deposition of sediment.
They can't hear you.
Okay. It's a landform that forms from deposition of sediment carried by a river as the flow leaves its mouth and enters slower moving of standing water.
So this is why it matters. Well, this timeline shows the Mississippi River changing deltas over time, and the course of the river has changed course multiple times. But all the courses lead to the same ocean, and the purpose is to move the sediment somewhere else.
Okay. So what's positive about changing the course? It's new areas get water and farms can benefit from the water. It's a new source of energy that can provide they can be provided for new areas, and it's a new path of transportation. Negatives.
Negatives is flooding damages houses by the river. Like when it changes course, like those areas don't expect like that to happen, and so when that does happen, their area gets flooded and damage occurs. And the area that had the river and that relied on it for water and energy, it's lost.
So this is basically how a delta is formed. I'm just gonna play the video.
So erosion is occurring up at the top, and as it comes down, deposition is occurring because the sediment starts building up, and as it comes, the sediment on the side starts coming down. More and more deposition is occurring. It piles up. It's becoming wider.
Yeah.
It changed course. A new delta formed because before it was going this way and as it curved. Now it went straight and started to change course.
This is how we prevent a delta from forming. Huh? Oh.
Uh, yeah, what we did was we put wooden blocks there, so the water went straight, but didn't really. It still piled up with the sediment, and then so we tried changing its course. So we added like a new flow, but the river
What we
didn't
could
really-
have done differently is just kind of dig more, so like that way the water comes.
and then the sediment starts piling up on a different course instead of going up that way.
Wait, and then so that kind of so the water goes in there too. Just like that.
So that was the solution. In conclusion, we believe the Mississippi River and all the rivers around the world should have another course to avoid having to deal with the negative side of the deltas.
That's it. Or actually, no. No. Yeah. Any questions?
Okay, so instead of it like changing direction on its own, and then that whole place where it went and it changed direction, it'd be flooded. The water would rise and it'd be all underwater, right? So we channelized it so the sediment wouldn't build up, and then we made actually a different course for it. So it was so it would go on that, so it wouldn't go on a new course by its own.
Any other questions? That's it.
Okay, so our experiment was deltas, and what a delta is that it's just a river, like really like small rivers that branch off of a bigger river. And our claim was that the Mississippi River will not change course to create a delta without us helping it.
We predicted that the Mississippi River will not change course because without human intervention, because there will be a lot sustained deltas created through the control lift gates and structures at the river mouth.
So our procedures throughout would be creating two streams depending on experimental ideas. For example, one can be curvy and one can be straight with the triangle cutter. Deltas would be created as well. Then we would turn on the faucet of the stream table with normal paced water, and then man-made materials would be added eventually within the experiment, such as wood and tubes.
And this one on the left is without us putting anything in it. And at first, we made this one curvy, but we made this one straight. And as we kept it at a normal pace, it started making it curvier and eating away at the sides. Yeah, and we sped it up at one point, and it made the process of the water picking up sediment and making it curvier
fast. Like it took more time. And it didn't create any deltas, even if when we sped it up. And here you can see we just dug a little bit into here, and as we sped it up, it became bigger. The deltas became bigger and bigger.
And here is just a sketch of our experimental ideas. So we created these deltas, and then we decided to we wanted to put some human man-made structures by the deltas. And these are also sketches of our experiments. So we have explained, one is straight, one is curvy. The other eventually became curvy. And then we created deltas. And then we begin placing the man-made objects. So we put a block on one side of the stream halfway through to slow down the water. And then as a result, the river also became curvy, and the water has been sitting in the deltas. And the block just slowed down the water just by a little bit. And then for our fourth experiment, basically the same, but we also placed tubes near the ends to slow down the water, but turns out that the water just moved the tubes or sank them. And then we decided to place tubes all over with another block, and turns out that it just moved or it sank because the river pace just made it seem to be.
In our experiment, we tried to slow down the water, and so it wouldn't create new deltas or bigger streams, but that did not happen. It still created a new stream, bigger stream, and it cut into the streams and created curves and stuff.
And then what we could do next time is to speed it up even more than what we actually did. So it would be distributed more, and maybe the stream on both sides of the streams, rather than just one side, to see if it would come out the same way, or if the placement of the blocks would change what would happen.
So the reasoning for our experiment is that the water rather stayed within deltas, but with the main streams, the river expanded as it ate away the sediment from the sides, so it can flow.
And in conclusion, the water was sped up, which created more curves up on the streams, but still needed our help to create deltas. Our claim was correct while our prediction was wrong.
Sure. Any questions?
Okay, I probably misheard something along the way, but why is it you want to create more deltas, and why is it you want to put man-made objects there? Is it just to control the water, or what is it?
Yeah, it's kind of to control the water.
So that block you want to slow down the water, correct?
Wait, what?
The block, with the block, you want to slow down the water, right?
Yeah, it was slow.
That would end up leading to more basically obsolete. What would you guys do to fix that?
Wait, what?
Okay, so that block there, that position's going to happen in that block for sure. It's going to have just however it's work. What would you guys do to fix that issue?
Well, see, because we try to place the tube in this tubes on each end of the stream